Dragons. But it's a good book series. If you're interested in reading, like, they tell you the end basically at the beginning because they have this whole prophecy thing where they're like, this is the prophecy of the Wings of Fire. And then you're just following along to see how the prophecy, you know, is going to play out. But in the first 5 or 6 books, they tell you the whole prophecy and they cover everything before they go to Jade Mountain, where they start the next half of the story. So, that's totally a good book series.
Mortals, scrabbling after any shred of control.
And also, I guess I'm wrong. I did spontaneously buy a book. I spontaneously bought the Dungeons and Dragons books because I wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, and so I bought the Dungeons and Dragons books and I read them. I read the Player Handbook, Ravenloft, one of their spell books. I don't know exactly which spell book, but one of their spell books, and one of their monster books, cover to cover, which is not helping you when you want to play D&D, but I did read them. So, if I ever get a chance to play D&D, I read the handbook. I'll check it out, thanks. You are welcome.
Yeah.
And I definitely would recommend the Wings of Fire book series.
All of you.
Careful the wild wallet.
Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Also, I don't know if anybody reads the Hunger Games, but I was just told earlier that they just released a Hunger Games book on Haymitch's story. So I have to read that too. Because I had no idea they were coming out with another book on Haymitch's story. So I'm like, Haymitch, Mags, and Joey. There we go. Yeah, Haymitch, Mags, and Joanna. I would want to see their stories beginning to end. Now, apparently they cover a lot of Mag's stories in the books, in the previous books. I don't remember that, but then I haven't read the books in years. So,
Mortals, scrabbling
I would have
after
to read
any
the book again.
shred of control.
But I definitely want to read Haymitch's book, because that I'm sure that those Hunger Games were awesome. Hold them all. I've always wanted to play D&D. Never been able to find a group though. Yeah, same. That's cool in concept, but it's hard to find, like, everybody has established groups, right, for D&D? Careful the reckless charge. You want to run that over the ads. Make sure you're kiting the ads into the rocks. The rocks will smash and kill the ads. You don't have to deal with as many ads. Go into the minecart.
It's too far away.
But yeah, D&D it's totally a cool series. Have you watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie, or has anybody watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie? Because the Dungeons and Dragons movie is actually also awesome. Don't forget to pull those ads onto the tracks. Any ads that did not make it onto the tracks, you can smash them with the charge. So good note here, when you see that the minecart is about to come, the minecart that falls, it does actually fall off these tracks. So you can actually look and see it when it spawns before it comes down off the tracks. If you keep an eye on the tracks. It's not super easy to see the tracks, but if you do keep an eye on the tracks, you can see the minecart spawn. Reckless charge. With reckless charge.
Stupid weaklings!
Oh, I'm running the wrong way.
Wicked.
The rogue was following me.
I
Do you know what Critical Role is?
Whole Wakespirit's been
I
here
haven't watched
forever,
Critical
so
Role.
don't trust nobody. So mean.
Although I did see that they apparently have a book. I saw the book the other day.
Faster, faster. I'll catch up.
But no, I haven't watched Critical Role. I know there are a group of D&D people who post their story on YouTube. I didn't know there was a movie. Yeah, you totally should watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie. So there's a Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's about a bard. And, well, no, okay. So technically it's about a paladin. He's a paladin, but he quickly loses his way as a paladin. And they still refer to him as paladin, but he's a bard. He's not a paladin. So, yeah, you should totally watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's about the paladin. He loses his way because of what happens to his wife. And it's about him and his dungeon group basically putting everything back together. And there's also a red witch who is kind of ugly. I don't recommend watching it with... I don't remember what it's rated, but I don't recommend it for kids. Careful with the burst. The D&D movie was amazing, hilarious, good story and action.
All of
Right?
you, feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
And the best part was definitely with Jonathan.
Our bat, not right.
Because the way that lady yells his name is hilarious. But the Dungeons and Dragons movie was awesome. And the giant dragon chasing them around was hilarious. In the part when they're in the cave. Or, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a cave. Also, did you know in the D&D movie that Jonathan's costume was actually practical effects? So his costume was actually a costume. Nothing on there was AI. It was like they had the wings and they had the character. His whole costume that he wears is his costume. Which is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Take the red arrows to light the candles. You can light 2 candles each, but you only need 1 or 2 candles lit. Careful with the fire. Use the wind to blow out the candles. You want to make sure you line those blue arrows up with at least 1 or 2 candles to blow out the candles. Careful with the fire. Watch the fire again. Use the red arrows to light the candles. You want to make sure you light the candles with 4 seconds on a battle res. Hopefully our rogue can hold out 4 seconds. Catch that rogue. This druid is actually awesome. Whenever the apex comes out, he just runs around and grabs all of the orbs. Careful with the fire. You want to make sure you are not standing in the fire at any time.
By the candle's light.
Darkness. Step out of the darkness. Dousing breath.
Too far away.
With your lights barrage, use the red arrows to light the candles. %, left on the boss.
Candles light.
Wind, use the wind to put out the candles. Don't forget that you do not have to get hit by that wind cast. This guy says, dude, I'm cooked. Now he says, my bad, I'm locking in. Alright, good note. I actually did not know this. I got this from a tank the other day. You do not get % from that candle guy in the middle. You don't have to pull that candle guy in the middle because you don't get % from him. So you can actually pull the ads and the candle guy in the middle will just blow up and you don't have to deal with him. And you don't get % from him. Anyways, so even if you do pull him, you don't get %. So what I would recommend doing as a tank is just shoot something out, hit the first ad so that the middle guy blows up, and then pull all of the ads. Flame bolt, be careful of those flame bolts. Ceaseless flame. Ceaseless flame is not interruptible or avoidable, so you want to make sure you are very careful with the ceaseless flame. I still know that. Yeah, it does save a lot of time. Candle bolt, make sure you are interrupting it. Generally, anything in the game that says bolt needs to be interrupted. Because in the game, when things say bolt, like flame bolt, web bolt, cinder bolt, bolts are going to target one random member and shoot a bolt of damage at that member. So generally, if you see something that says bolt, you just want to be careful and not get hit by that thing that says bolt.
I'm out of range.
I'm pretty sure I played with Gangplanks before. I don't remember if he's been at community raid or if he was in our community or something. But I'm pretty sure I recognize the name.
All of you, feed on the void. Let its
Massive stomp,
darkness
careful to knock back.
fill you.
Far away. I need to get closer.
30% left on the ad. Problem. No, just on me. Take it to boss, he says. Taking it to boss. I closed the Wowhead article before I could finish reading it. Pulling the boss off to the side. Eerie molds. Careful how far you spread out. You do not want these eerie molds spread out. Darkflame pickaxe. Line of sight, the Darkflame pickaxe between one of behind one of the eerie molds.
I mold you now.
The Paladin's circle did not go off. It's weird. Darkflame pickaxe. Again, line of sight the Darkflame pickaxe behind one of the eerie molds. Paranoid Minds. Paranoid Minds needs to be interrupted every time. 57% left on the boss. That Darkflame pickaxe. Paranoid Minds needs to be interrupted.
I need to get closer.
I mold you now.
Paranoid Minds interrupt Paranoid Minds.
Too far away.
Just remembered I had tea here. But good news is it's still good.
I mold you
This is
now.
why Yetis are awesome. Make sure you're interrupting Paranoid Minds. Darkflame pickaxe. Line of sight Darkflame pickaxe behind one of the statues.
Wax and ruin.
Percent left on the boss. So if you do not line of sight the Darkflame pickaxe, the boss will throw the pickaxe at you and knock you back. If you're the tank and you're knocked back off that platform, you want to be careful and get back up to the platform as quickly as possible because the boss actually will reset if he follows you off that platform.
Cannot be timed to flee. Flee to freedom.
I've had the boss reset like
To escape.
twice, I think.
I need to get closer.
Yes. Feed.
Careful with the ants.
All of you. Feed on the void.
Seems like Automod blocked
Let
me.
its darkness fill you.
Oh yeah, it blocked you because it doesn't like the word. It doesn't like that word, my bad. Short versions though, Unholy smacks harder than Frost for me. Oh nice. So you like Unholy Death Knight better than Frost? Actually, I have a hunter who I play with sometimes, who has an Unholy Death Knight friend, who he brings sometimes. Maybe I'll ask him to join the community and he can give you some tips on Unholy if you want. Because he is actually... Okay, I actually don't know if the person's a he because I've never actually heard him. But I'm pretty sure it's a he. But it's actually really good at the Unholy Death Knight. So, if you like Unholy Death Knight, I do actually know people who could help with Unholy Death Knight. I also have somebody in my guild who he plays an Unholy Death Knight, and he is really good at the Unholy Death Knight. So I could see if he also has any tips for Unholy Death Knight play. He might actually be in the community. Yeah, he's actually in the community. His Death Knight's not rated well this season though, apparently.
Too far away.
Elnor. Yeah, he's not rated well this season. But Elnor, he's from my guild. He's a really good Unholy Death Knight, so if he happens to be online, just ask anything in the chat and he will definitely answer. Dang, blocked again. Sure what would trigger it. It doesn't like the... It doesn't like the words you're using.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
Yes. Feed. All of you. Feed on the void. Let its darkness
See.
fill you.
It says Quran non. Yeah, it. Well, why do you keep using the same word? I would tell you what word it is, but for sake of reusing the clip later out of context, I can't. I don't know what word it is.
I'm out of range.
That's the only word you used in all three. Well, let me see. Okay, testing Unholy versus Frost. It's training dummies. It doesn't like the second word in the training dummies word that you're using. That's the word that it doesn't like.
Quick, grab some What's for me?
I mean, come on, that's kind of funny. Wait, it's dummies equal one. Hold 1.89 million. That's actually pretty good, though. Your numbers are pretty good. You use it a flask on the training dummies, though. For raw, non-moving dummies, I'm pulling an average flat damage for nearly 1 million more. I'll have to test it on real time because I played some specs on dummies and thought it was amazing.
Oh, my head.
We're gonna go ahead and allow you to say that word. There we go. It won't let me allow you to say multiple or three things for some reason. But it let me allow you to say two of them. So now you should be okay to use the training dummies word. And to be totally honest, when I was blocking words in my chat, I literally went to websites to a lot of different recommended sites and a lot of different recommended stuff, and I copied all the words that they recommend you ban, and I pasted them into the ban. So, any interpretation of anything, Automod's he's gonna try to grab because
It's too far away.
yeah, because I banned everything, which is not a good idea. Don't do that. But that's what I did. So it's HR. Yeah, basically.
Mortals. Scrabbling after any shred
So
of
I've been
control.
trying to retrain it that it's okay to say some things. Now, my problem is I did the same thing to Streambot, but Streambot sometimes works and he sometimes does not work. So, Streambot today is not working because it didn't bring up the Discord link, but some days Streambot does work. So those days when Streambot does work, I just be careful because he has been known to ban people. Automod at least gives you like a, hey, don't say that. Streambot, he's just like, see ya.
Darkness descends.
It's awesome. Yeah, I've been streaming since, I want to say 2022 now. I've been streaming probably 3 years. I think it'll be 3 years in May. I got affiliate end of 2024, but I've been streaming for like 3 years, and I've had a lot of trolls in the chat. The concept of anybody can play at any level, people don't entirely understand. But I believe everybody deserves an opportunity to run everything, you know? Everybody deserves an opportunity to try. So, if you have a 10 key, you earned that 10 key. You get to run the 10 key. You know? Hello. Kissing my boys goodnight. And welcome to the stream. Yeah, no worries. I got you that you're not a troll. That's not really a troll name. It's kind of more like a title though. That's more like a title than a name. But it's not really, it's definitely not a troll name. And we have a lot of people in here with names that are like titles. We have in Life We Win and Lose. We have Awesome Mommy. We have... Yeah, I can't think of anybody else's names right now. But we actually have a couple of people who have really long gamer tags. So it's not weird. But welcome to the stream. What do you play? Do you play a tank, DPS, and or a healer? Off to sleep. Had a blast tonight. Thank you, Battle Masters, for coming and watching the stream. And also, thank you for the keys earlier. Those keys went very well. I wish you luck on your death night. And I will see you again next